Evaluating film has been a passion my whole life. Knowing what's made one player fit a system is what drove me to help assemble a championship roster. Now I want to let you know where you stand. We are searching for the top prospects and revealing what makes players' film so great. Are you brave enough for Athletic Audit? What's your score? Welcome to Athletic Audit, where we go in, we watch huddle film, we watch different film, and we try to give you guys the best view possible of what college coaches are trying to do, what they're trying to look for, what they're trying to see. I am going to start out with my own film. How crazy is that? So I don't want you guys feeling bad. I want you guys taking constructive criticism so that we know how to take you and get you to the next level. I've sat down with hundreds and hundreds of kids, and we've broken down film, and from them taking that film, breaking it down, and getting it to the next level, we're able to secure those financial scholarships that they're looking for. And sometimes it's just as simple as having your film in the wrong order. Other times you have to get out and go to work. But right now, I want to take you through my film, how I ended up at the Division I level, where I would end up now, 15 years later. Because where I ended up in 2010 is not where I'd end up now. I can tell you that after watching my own personal film. So come with me on the adventure. I'll show you guys some great tips and tricks. And we're going to have some incredible guests go and break down their favorite film. Who's good, who's bad. We're going to have new film, old film, and it's going to be an opportunity for you guys to understand exactly what college coaches are looking for and how you guys can get the most valuable scholarship possible. So let's start with my film. The music doesn't matter. No one's going to listen to it. Now, this is one thing I did like that I did, but I shouldn't have done top 10 plays. I should have broken it down to probably a top 5 because most college coaches, they're only going to watch 30 seconds of your film. You got to understand that with film, they're going to be there and they're going to be like, okay, let's see what's good, what's bad, and what's ugly before we break down a ton of different film. So starting out, that was not a fantastic kick. I detest my form from back then. You see, I'm swinging my arm around, my eyes are staying back, and it's causing me to have back problems in the future 15 years later. So we can see that, but we can also see some good power. Coming 5 yards deep, maybe 7 yards deep on a typical kickoff, that's a solid move right there. So 35-yard field goal, nothing to really write home about, but the traj, the ball was at above the post. So that's something that I really like to see. I like to see if a kid can get high trajectory. You get high trajectory by having a high leg, high swing, and not crunching. But I am a habitual cruncher. If I was a captain, I'd be captain crunch. So you can see I'm not getting the power I should have. Honestly, that ball should have been here, but that's kind of what we're searching at. I just like to go and see what kickers are doing what different position. And I promise we're not going to be breaking down kickers. There's some good things and there's some bad things. Once again, form on that one. My form is atrocious, but I'm athletic enough that it gets through. So just get to see that. Another kickoff. Let's see where this one lands. I just want to make sure that the kickoffs, okay, this is back of the end zone. So in college, that would have been 5 deep. So I'm looking at myself and I'm like, okay, he has a decent kickoff leg. Nothing to write home about. Okay. 44-yard field goal. Now we're getting a little bit deeper. And even with the deep, it's not going as far as I'd like it to. Would have been good from about 52. Not much more than that. And then another kickoff, great trajectory, and 10 deep. So I can see myself as an okay kickoff guy. I'm not completely sold on field goals. 47, I think I'm about good from about 55. So that went over there. So this is about a 55. So game-winning field goal. Let's see how this young kicker does under pressure. Good job getting to the ball quick. Ball height. Okay, the ball is at the top of the post. So seeing that, breaking down my film, I can see that there's some good stuff there. I can also see that there's some not good stuff because there's things to work on. As of just that, without getting any extra work on it, any extra anything on it, there's some different things that we can do. There's some different things. What you're going to notice is when you look at older film, it's all about the cinematography. We don't care about that. Cinematography doesn't matter at all. But what would my film look like? What would I rate this kid as? This film goes on for 12 minutes. That is asinine. Why in the world would we do that? It's because it's more of a keepsake memory film. Honestly, your film needs to be about 3 minutes. If we can get 3 minutes in, we're good. That's all we need whatsoever. So let's look and stop and see how I'd rate this kid. So for me, I need to see what a prospect rating system is. So I'll be a little generous. I'm nice to myself. 55 yards, pretty consistent from there. In high school, I did hit a 60 plus, but it wasn't consistent. I want to make sure that this kid can hit it almost every time. And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, this kid, he'll be about 50% plus. 90% field goal consistency. If you're kicking 90%, that's awesome. And I've got a little rating system to the side. Longer field goals, a little bit less trajectory, gets blocked at times. You could see that. That's just kind of how it is. 5 deep on kickoffs. Yeah, I'll give myself that. Not the biggest league in the country, but still solid. At times can make tackles and sometimes takes fakes, can play other sports. Yes, not fantastic. So I give myself a 6 out of 10 on that. And then walks on the field with swagger. The bigger the moment, the better he performs. I saw that with game-winning field goals. I was 9 for 9 on game-winning or game-tying field goals. So I'm giving myself a 1 on that. With that, most colleges, because I don't have that huge leg that they look for, because my trajectory isn't perfect, I'm going to be a low-tier FCS or a high D2, really. So a 0.783. This is where I'd be today. Coming out of high school, I was actually the number 1 point scorer in the country. I had 100 points. You could see all the things that I did, but nowadays that wouldn't matter as much. You got to really take your game to the next level. So I want you guys to see what a top kicker looks like nowadays. We both ended up committing to BYU, so you're going to see what a top guy looks like. So Ian Sanches, 56-yard field goal. No wind you can see. Great form. Solid kick. Perfect. So a 56-yard field goal in a game is way different than going out and kicking just a random kick. You see, he had probably 10 yards better than what I was doing. Solid, good form, 55-yard field goal. We're seeing great consistency through this. That was about a third of the way up the pipes at 55. So tells me he's probably good from 60. 54-yard field goal. That's 2 50-plus yard field goals in a game. Absolutely ridiculous. Another 50. I mean, this kid has a huge leg. He's taller. He's definitely way more athletic than I was. 38. Goodness. Just solid. Next, kickoffs. So after this last field goal, we know he's good from 60 plus easy. A 77-yard kickoff with 4-0 hang is absolutely ridiculous. Great form, great technique. My goodness. So I look up it's not a crazy windy day. And so that's another huge thing. 75 hang through the post. So this kid has a monster leg. We're looking at a top Division I type player coming in and doing what he's doing. Goodness gracious, Ian. So I've seen enough at this point to know that he's a kid I want on campus. I want to get him around our team, see what he can do. And that's what you were as a coach. You're like, hey, I've seen the 3-4 plays I really need to see. Let's get him a quick rating and see exactly where we'd put him on our team. When we look at him, he's consistent at 60 yards. So we give him a 10 on that one. 95% on his field goals. That is a 0.9, solid, always above the net, always above the line. Got another 10 there. Consistently out of the end zone. We can see that he has the leg to do that. So it could be a 10, maybe a 9. Best athlete on the team, plays multiple positions, and a good tackler. 6'1", we saw that he could play soccer. His team is really good. It's called Lone Peak. They won a couple state titles. They're out of Utah, so another solid thing. Walks onto the field with swagger. The bigger the moment, the better he performs. I personally watched a game where he was 3 for 3 on field goals, 55 plus. He hit a 60, a 55, and a 54. Absolutely ridiculous. So he's a 0.966. What that means is that he is a top player in the country. He's a Division I offer now type kid. He's not your second or third option. If you want to get this type of a caliber of athlete, you're going to have to offer him and get him where he needs to be. But with that, we can just see that the kid's an absolute star. He's a baller, and he's a kid that can go to the next level. Another little thing you notice, he had good technique, but he wasn't using a tee for a lot of his field goals. So he's doing it off the ground, unlike me. So just little things that you guys can see. I hope this helped you out. We're going to be rating a lot of other positions. We just started with specialists because that's where I was at. Know that I'm not trying to kill your dreams. I was able to fix a lot of things. I took a couple years off. I got to the Division I level. I played at Utah. I played at BYU. I played at Snow College. I coached at all three. These are a lot of things. Now I'm excited because I get to bring on guests, get to bring on different people, pick their brains, do what we need to do so that we can get a lot of more kids the score they want. If you guys want to be rated, make sure you get your athletic audit now. And we are going to be doing some great giveaways and a lot of different things. I appreciate your time. Once again, I'm Moose Bingham. Can't wait to get some more athletic audit going.